We need to talk about Rey Fenix potentially being released from AEW. Maybe Tony Khan caved in and did it, or maybe Tony Khan is just playing a very, very, very wicked game. We're going to talk about those details. Also, a WWE legend who could very much be an active performer today was backstage at NXT, potentially coming back to WWE. We're going to talk about that. Plus, WWE making changes to the Hall of Fame. We got to talk about that. All of this is coming up right here on the Ango Show. All right, guys, first things first, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. If you guys don't know what is happening, well, it looks like WWE doesn't know what is happening either. On Sportskeeda's Backstage Pass Q&A, WrestleVotes was talking about this, and WWE was not thrilled last year with the idea that many fans left after Paul Heyman's speech, and the WWE wants to avoid this again by making changes to the way they present the Hall of Fame. He says, the only thing I can say is that they were not happy with how everything happened last year in Philadelphia. In terms of the size of the crowd that was left even a half hour through, once Paul Heyman was done speaking last year, majority of the crowd left and WWE was not thrilled with that, or was. I talked to a source that said they couldn't really blame them because the headliner went first and it's the start of a very long weekend for a lot of people. So if you can get out of there at 10:30, you're going to take that chance. However, WWE was not thrilled with that, so I don't think they want to do that again. So I know they're going to try to come up with different ways to present everything. I just don't know what that is yet. Now, I actually think this is a good idea. I'm going to be honest with you. The Hall of Fame, I think it goes too late. I think the speeches are too late. I could totally understand why people left. I've gone to the Hall of Fame before, and you know, when it's WrestleMania weekend and there's NXT and there's indie shows, the Hall of Fame is just another thing that takes away either sleeping time or time that could be utilized going to another event. And then obviously you want to wake up and be refreshed and ready to go, especially with WrestleMania being 2 nights this year. You know, takeovers early in the morning. Or stand and deliver, I should say. You know, it is one of those things where I do think the Hall of Fame needs to be changed. Personally speaking, I would actually like to see WWE's Hall of Fame not necessarily being an actual event, but just a physical place. You know, I think you could always do something where they build a specific building, and within that building, they do something where, you know, they have memorabilia and the people that are inducted are there. You could always do some sort of press release and maybe a segment on TV. I don't know, man, but they just need to do something different. I don't really care for the format for Hall of Fame. I can also admit, like, after Paul Heyman's speech, I was pretty much tuned out for the rest of it. And it's not because I didn't want to watch the rest of it, but it's just you watch SmackDown, now you got the Hall of Fame, and then it's going extremely long. That's a problem. Let's turn our attention to another WWE major return. Is it going to be Mickie James? This is very, very exciting to me. She was seen backstage with WWE NXT. She had pictures with Carmen Petrovich. This was really cool. She also had pictures with Masha Slamovich, I believe, as well. Listen, nobody really knows what's happening here with Mickie James. A lot of people are curious. I don't know if there's been an update on Mickie James and what she's doing professionally. The last time I remember there was an update about Mickie James, it was literally the fact that she was going to OVW. Now, since then, I don't know if anything has changed. I don't know if she's gone anywhere else. I don't know if her role in OVW is still there. You don't really hear too much about OVW these days, but that was the last I heard of it. For me personally, I'm a huge fan of Mickie James. I've shared a story like this similar to my channel before, but my experience is going backstage at TNA when Mickie James was there, back when it was Impact Wrestling. Mickie James was an absolute sweetheart. I can literally say, like, my interactions with her were really, really incredible. And that's one of those things, right? When you meet somebody, when you watch somebody on TV, that's one thing. But then when you meet them and maybe they know who you are, maybe they don't know who you are, you know, and they're just like a class act, you want to see them succeed. You become even a bigger fan of them. And that's exactly how I feel with Mickie James. I feel like she could be a really, really good asset to WWE NXT, especially when you look at how amazing the NXT women's division is. Like, I'm not going to lie, they have the #1 women's division on wrestling television. You know, she could be really, really good for them backstage. But if you want, throw her in the Royal Rumble, throw her on the main roster and let her wrestle from time to time if she wants to be an active competitor. I can't speak for her, but if she wants to be an active competitor, that would be really ideal because I feel like she could still go. I don't think she will, but I think that would be really dope. I think Mickie James and WWE, I think that's a relationship that's been fixed and patched and just obviously it makes sense now too with Nick Aldis being on SmackDown. I think there is a lot of cool stuff you could do there. Maybe let her have a run on NXT. Let her work with an up-and-coming person, and then maybe she could work behind the scenes. I don't know. But I do think it would be very beneficial for her to be there. And then also, the one thing I want to say is this. WWE is a company where you can't just sign everybody. You have to sign the right people. Maybe Mickie James isn't needed as an on-screen talent, but maybe Mickie James would be really, really good behind the scenes, and that's just simply all it is. But if you want, you can always make Mickie James the GM for NXT, which I think would be a really dope thing as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. Rey Fenix, his merchandise is no longer found on WWE Shop. Not WWE Shop. AEW Shop. Lucha Bros is also no longer on there as well. Tony Khan and the AEW brand have taken down his merchandise. And obviously we know that Rey Fenix is currently in the midst of a contract dispute. We know that he's been trying to leave the company. We know that AEW has not technically released him from the company, but now they have removed his merchandise from the company, which many people are speculating means he is done with the company. Now, I'm going to just throw this out there. Tony Khan, whatever you're doing with Rey Fenix, just let him go. If you have not already let him go, let him go. Associate a non-compete clause for 90 days, just like WWE would. That's fine. Just let him go. Because at the end of the day, people are speculating that you've already let him go. If you have not already let him go, now you're removing potential income for this guy. You're not utilizing him. You're not going to let him make money. It's a very, very bad tactic. Very bad tactic. I don't like it. Nobody knows what's really happening with Rey Fenix, and obviously AEW isn't as transparent. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I like Rey Fenix a lot. And whether he goes to WWE, doesn't go to WWE, I don't think that really matters, right? I think what really matters is I think it would be better for the AEW culture to keep the people who actually want to be there and then just get rid of the people who are a cancer to your locker room. That's the solution. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below.